Greetings, everyone. I am Mabuto Nicholas Mabena. We are discussing an article that appeared online. The headline says over 51,000 illegals deported since SASGNU came to power. That is according to the Minister of Home Affairs, Dr. Leon Stryper. You can Google the article. It is written by journalist Syrian Ryan. It's written on the 27th of August 2025. And I hope I don't have Sundowns fans in this platform. But nonetheless, we're going to beat them. Let's get to the to this article. It says the Department of Home Affairs has deported more than 51,000 illegals since the government of national unity took office over just a year ago, exceeding the number of deportations over the previous 5 years. So it appears more people have been deported compared to the last or to the previous 5 years. The minister is quoted as having said the best investment we can make is to beef up border control, close quote. The next line says, while the exact number of illegals in South Africa remains unknown, Stats SA put the number of international migrants living in South Africa at 2.4 million in 2022. I might also say that Zim Stats, I think it was last year, we did a video, if I recall. They said close to a million Zimbabweans are out of Zimbabwe or possibly in South Africa. It was hovering around 900,000 to a million. I can't remember the exact stats from Zim Stats. Undocumented migrants place added strain on the country's resources, such as healthcare and schooling, and it's an issue which has become a concern across the political spectrum. It is an issue that we have been discussing in the last few days. We've seen Operation Dudula, March to March, and others blocking access to health facilities. We've been discussing our solution, which we are trying to fine tune and present. We'll be making the announcement in the next few days. The article continues, border management previously in the hands of 7 different departments and agencies has now been consolidated into the Border Management Agency. Um, then what is of interest, it says, no magic wand will fix the problem, says Stryper, one of the few ministers with a good news story to tell and an enthusiastic advocate of technology. Only systematic reform using technology, such as drones and fraud-proof ID verification, will bring the border problem under some kind of control, he adds. The Green ID book, which has been enabler of fraud, made possible by the ability to replace photos and steal identities. This represents a huge cost to the country. Some 18 million South Africans still use these ID books, all of whom have been correlated into applying for the smart ID card, which makes it far more difficult to defraud. We know that a number of South Africans have been affected. You'll recall, I can't remember whether it was 700,000 or so, the figure that I once saw, where those IDs were blocked and the South Africans struggling to get the services because those IDs were being suspected. I think we also discussed the demonstration that was held in Pretoria, I think early this year. Foreigners and visitors to SA will be required to make use of the same fraud-proof ID verification demanded of South Africans using biometrics such as fingerprints and photos. Use of new technologies resulted in a 215% increase in the detection and the prevention of illegal crossing over the last year. Stryper says the process of entering and exiting South Africa must be automated and linked to biometrics along the lines currently applied to South Africans, which will negate the opportunity for corruption. It's quoted as saying, all of this requires funding. You won't find a politician who doesn't complain about this problem, but they are quite quiet when it comes to funding the BMA. This will not reduce pressure on law enforcement. That's what the minister is quoted to have said. Uh, then another para says clearing the visa backlog. Remember, we've been talking about the issue of visas. Last year, the minister had said that by 31st of December 2024, the backlog will be cleared, and in January, February, I think they were celebrating that indeed it was cleared. But we still have people that applied for waivers and other visas as way back as 2023 who are still waiting for the outcomes. But yet the article says one of the trumps of Home Affairs under Straper's leadership has been the clearing of a visa backlog of 306,000 applications. The minister is quoted as saying, when I came to Home Affairs, a common complaint was that we had only had 40% of the staff required. People were drowning in the amount of work to be done. We've used the technology to take the pressure off staff, but in the future, we'll be going into communities to address people who have been left behind, the minister said. But like I have just said, that we still have people, even in this platform, who applied either for waivers or for other visas in 2023, 2024. Up to now, they are still waiting. They are kind of stranded. Home Affairs has a national security function, but it is also an economic enabler. He says we are pursuing Home Affairs as an economic enabler. The signature reform introduced by Home Affairs is the Electronic Travel Authorization (ETA), which allows tourists to apply and verify their ID online rather than having to visit an embassy, office, or high commission. This has resulted in 27,000 more visitors from key markets like India and China, and is part of a first rollout of online visa applications that Striper's hopes will set the benchmark for the world. Um, so I think let me read the last one. Uh, uh, One of the recent innovations introduced by Home Affairs will make use of more than 1,000 bank branches around the country, already equipped with fingerprint scanners and cameras for biometric verification to vastly increase the speed and efficiency of applying for ID cards, passports, and other documents. And I'm sure if you are a holder of a permanent residence, you have that ID written born, your country of origin, either Zimbabwe, Mozambique, or Lesotho, and that you can go to the Department of Home Affairs and apply for a smart card. The department's online verification service has been overhauled and improved so that online verification failure rates have dropped to less than a percentage, where previously up to 50% of verification attempts failed. There was also large scale abuse of the online verification system, which charged just 10 cents or 15 cents for an ID verification. That has now been bumped to 10 rands, which more equitable represents the cost of providing the service. So this is what the article says about what the minister has been saying. You can also follow the minister on X, formerly Twitter. That's where I got this article. Yeah, so 51,000 migrants deported since the government of national unity took office last year. We always, as the Zimbabwe community in South Africa and the African Diaspora Forum, we always advise people that they should be documented with every reason to be legal in the country, so that we do not face the problems. We note all your comments, Comrade Solomon Sahota. Thanks to have you once again Yes, that you were asking probing questions. We note your comment, mastermind, Tembi Kumalo. You are saying biometric coming to clinics and hospitals. Let me revisit that paragraph that I read, Comrade Tembi Kumalo, so that I don't give you wrong information. It says here, I'm still trying to scroll to see where I read where I spoke about the what I read was one of the recent innovations introduced by Home Affairs would make use of more than 1,000 bank branches around the country, already equipped with the fingerprint scanners and cameras for biometric verification to vastly increase the speed and efficiency of applying for IDs, passports, and other documents. The department's online verification service has been overhauled and improved. That's what I read. So I don't remember reading about the question or the point that you are making, Tembi Kumalo. But you can read the article as well, as I said. But here I can't see it. What you are referring to? No, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, all of you for joining us. We are going to Soccer City. Though I'll be watching home, but we are going to Soccer City to collect our points. Love and peace. Love and peace. Otherwise, good night, comrades. Bye bye.